So I'm very late to the party with this one. It's just like I had a crisis of what my next video should be. And also college is getting more heated and heated. It's not good. Also, I was supposed to make this video last week, but then I kind of backed out on that for another video I was working on, but I kind of shelved that because I wasn't really proud of what I was saying in that video. So I'm back on this again. Anyways, about 2 weeks ago, Kendrick Lamar performed at the Super Bowl. In my opinion, he kind of killed it. It's not the best Super Bowl performance. Well, there's some moments that Kendrick's mic performance was a little bit too quiet, but he still did pretty good though. With some of my highlights being him teasing "Not Like Us," but then he said, I think beyond the lines of saying, "Oh, they love this too," referencing Drake pulling a lawsuit over "Not Like Us." I talked about that in my channel. The All the Stars performance with SZA, man, I don't know why, but every time I hear All the Stars, it just brings me back to 2018, where you know, Black Panther hype was at its peak. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Another highlight was the Not Like Us performance, where he name drops Drake upon like millions of people, like literally millions of people. Keep in mind, the Super Bowl usually averages like 100 million people watching it. So take that as you will. But that to the translation of TV off. That might be the favorite moment of the Super Bowl so far, or at least the performance. And also, I gotta mention this. There was one of the backup dancers that hold the flags that said "Free Palestine" and "Free Sudan" on TV. I just gotta mention that because it was kind of shocking. I don't think shocking was like the right word, but you don't know how Israel goes. And yeah, again, Kendrick Lamar absolutely killed it with his performance. What I just said was just why? How did I choke? What? I am so sorry about that. What I was about to say is what you just heard was just my opinion, because after that performance I saw a good chunk of people saying the opposite of what I just said. Which, let me make this clear, I am not making videos like these simply because I disagree with what they're saying. I'm making videos like these as to their reasons and why they think that. I mean, I didn't have to address that, but you know, some of these people, when it comes to videos like these, they find a way. I mean, if y'all unironically think that I'm in some cult just because I disagree with people, first of all, this video, and second of all, this definition. And that's all. But anyways, there were a good chunk of people that weren't happy about how the Super Bowl turned out. A good chunk of them was Drake fans on copium. Another good chunk felt like the show was performative. What I'm going to go into is the conservatives, because they're really easy to pick on. Oh my god, my throat is getting worse and worse. I don't know why, but there's like something in my throat. I don't know what it is. Also, the conservatives easily has some of the worst takes on this topic, so I'm just gonna dive right in. So here I have a tweet where this person says that Kendrick Lamar sucks. But here's a catch. The same person basically has these on his record. So yeah, that is self-explanatory. This is another tweet from Matt that suggests that the Super Bowl was a response for what Trump is doing, which, first of all, Kendrick was already announced to be performing at the Super Bowl before Trump won. Like, if Kamala won, Kendrick would still been performing. Like, what are you even talking about? And second of all, while looking at the thread, I came across this. Again, I'm just gonna let that speak for itself. Also, I found a reply on that thread where he calls that murder music. Kendrick Lamar makes murder music.
What? What?
We got another tweet saying that this music's not my style, which, okay, cool. That's not why I brought this up. Why I brought it up is the reply, which says, mine either, but it has to be rap. I'd rather see Tom McDonald. Do I really need to explain what's wrong here? Especially of who Tom McDonald is, which all I'm going to say is, he is Canadian. And then you get this guy saying, DEI halftime show. Yeah, that saying that during Black History Month is kinda crazy. And these next four are from Matt Walsh, which is the same guy that made that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 video on. So, familiar guess, huh? Bold decision to hire a halftime performer who doesn't actually perform.
You serious?
Bizarre decision by the NFL to have some guy come out and mumble a bunch of songs that 90% of the NFL audience has never heard. First of all, using the term mumble rap in the big 2025. And second of all,
that's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Not Like Us was one of the biggest songs last year. So I don't think 90% of the NFL audience doesn't know what that song is. So you're basically making shit up. And then he says this is easily the worst halftime show I've ever seen, which a little bit way too subjective, even though I think Maroon 5 is way worse than this. And then he says halftime show is trash. Nobody can even understand what he's saying, and vast majority of football fans haven't even heard most of these songs.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Also, this may just be comparing apples to oranges, but if you're so sure that these football fans never even heard this guy's music, tell me why that in the Billboard Hot 100, Kendrick Lamar hold number 1, 2, and 3 of his tracking week, the same tracking week after the Super Bowl, okay? And number 2, when I go to Spotify and go to Charts USA, Kendrick Lamar is all over this place. It's even after Drake dropped an album. It also shows that Matt Walsh isn't built for pop culture like at all, but apparently this is less concerning.
Girls between the ages of like 17 and 24 is when they're technically most fertile.
Hell no!
Okay, this next one is more so of a Drake fan and less so of a conservative, but I gotta mention it. It says, no special guests, nothing exciting, just 2 bitches that Drake fucked performing with you. Well, first of all, SZA was a special guest, and if you count Samuel L. Jackson as a special guest, he technically kinda is. And also the quote-unquote 2 bitches you refer to is Serena Williams and SZA, with one of them being one of the most well-known tennis players of all time, and I didn't even watch tennis, okay? And the other, SZA, is absolutely killing it this decade when it comes to her music and her success. We got a tweet from Ed Wokeness saying, rap is not music, I'll die in this hill. I am not going to explain why takes like these is just so fucking dumb. By that logic, EDM is not music because I do not like it, which is objectively false. EDM is music, it's just not for me. And I like a couple EDM songs. Also, there's this tweet where I could just say that this is pretty racially motivated. But also, like, the Twitter user is just fucking racist with him saying, I hate black culture. And these are the replies of that said tweet where I can just sum it up as this.
Oh my god, they brought back Ku Klux Klan.
I don't usually say shit like that in my videos, but like generally the replies is basically just a KKK meeting. We got a tweet from a reporter saying that Hulk Hogan doesn't even understand what Kendrick Lamar is saying. With that shirt, I let that speak for itself. I know I'm saying the words self-explanatory or the phrase I'll let that speak for itself a lot, but I am just seeing a pattern when it comes to tweets like these. Anyways, this next screenshot is really low quality. I got this from Watts TV. Please subscribe to him. With this guy saying that Lil Wayne should have been in the Super Bowl instead of Kendrick Lamar, which is a pretty popular thing these guys were saying. But then he says that Kendrick only came up from diss records. I've seen a lot of people saying that Kendrick got carried by the disses, and it's just one of the most false things I've heard when it comes to Kendrick Lamar recently. Kendrick Lamar was very hella popular before that, like that verse. In 2017, like, the album Damn was basically everywhere, and Humble was like one of the biggest songs of that year. So that alone is just straight up false. And the last tweet I'm going to go over, I'm saving it for last because it came with a video, is this tweet where it says, a rapper performing songs nobody knows.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up.
A 43-year-old mother of two quit walking, long disjointed, not entertaining, the worst halftime show in recent memory. That alone, I always have some stuff to say, but again, it came with a video. So for this section, there's going to be some Fortnite gameplay whenever I had to say some things. So, yeah.
All right, y'all, I'm sorry. Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl was whack. That was one of the worst halftime shows in recent memory. First of all, Kendrick Lamar is not mainstream. Like, people do not know those songs.
I'm not laughing, bro. We never laugh at that, bro. Real shit, bro. I'm not laughing, bro. I'm not laughing, bro.
The white people at the Super Bowl party that I was with, he may as well have been speaking Mandarin. All right, because nobody knew these songs. Nobody knew what he was rapping about outside of Not Like Us, obviously. But nobody knows these songs.
So you unironically think that nobody knows these songs because the party that you're in, nobody knows these songs besides Not Like Us. Okay.
Second of all, Blinkety Black, I'm so much blacker than you. Halftime shows are very passe. Like, that stuff peaked in the BLM era. It's very not of this moment. It very much does not work. And also, it's been done better. So at this point, nobody cares.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response.
Third of all, 43-year-old mother of two, Serena Williams, in a bad blonde wig, like, crip walking is embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed for her. She should be embarrassed for herself. It's just all really, really passe.
Okay, it is very clear as to people who pay attention to what's going on with the beef versus people who don't even know that this beef even existed or didn't even pay attention to the beef, because what the actual fuck? Also, Serena Williams had a relationship with Drake. You know, the same person Kendrick name dropped. And also name dropped Serena on the same song. So it's more so humiliation on an ex than embarrassment of whatever the fuck you just said.
There is nothing about that halftime performance that worked. So what I need to tell the NFL, Rock Nation, anybody that's doing that Super Bowl, try to make a show that's for all of America, because that was not for all of America.
A good chunk of Americans liked it. Case in point. Also, the Super Bowl, I think, usually averages around 100 million people. That's a lot of people, so it ain't going to appeal to, 100 million people, if I'm being blatantly honest. I mean, that's the best I could get. I genuinely don't know what he was going at with this. I'm sorry.
Was for like a fringe that knows Kendrick Lamar and that knows, his reps. Like, you're not going to tell me that that man is mainstream, that this is some mainstream superstar whose songs everybody knows.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Because I am telling you, the people that I was with, those white people at this place that I was with, were looking at each other like, they didn't know what's going on. All right, I didn't know what's going on.
So your source is you hanging out with white people? Always that most of the time isn't really too fond of rap music or music like that in general. And apparently everyone, or mostly everyone who bought tickets to the Super Bowl physically, not to people who watch on television, doesn't know who Kendrick Lamar is. Do I really need to explain how dumb this sounds like? Just because you and your group of friends don't know those songs doesn't mean that everyone who is in this community doesn't know these songs. Once again, like, Kendrick Lamar was one of the hardest musicians last year. A good chunk of it came with that beef, which is again one of the biggest beefs probably ever. And another good chunk of it after the beef, in his population is like at an all-time high. He dropped an album which both of those are like commercial success. Also, Not Like Us had like 5 Grammys the week before the Super Bowl. So
are you all really that stupid?
It was whack, it was boring, it wasn't cool. I'm tired of rappers at the Super Bowl. Like, can we have one Super Bowl where we just do something that just brings different genres together? Like,
well, I do have an answer for that.
I'm tired of seeing rappers bopping around. It was embarrassing. It was bad. And there's a lot of black people in media that, you know, their job is to say that everything that a black celebrity does is great and whatever. I'm here to tell you that it is whack. I don't care what anybody says. Kendrick was whack. Serena was whack. The whole thing was just not good.
So that's the video. Overall, what I got from this is that he thinks that the NFL community doesn't know who Kendrick Lamar is, let alone his music, because he himself and the people who associates with him doesn't even listen to his songs. Again, I don't really need to explain how dumb all that shit sounds. It's like saying, I don't listen to Michael Jackson. None of my friends listen to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is an unknown artist, which Michael Jackson is like one of the biggest people to ever live on Earth. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. And that's all for this video. Overall, there's a huge difference between people who either A, listen to Kendrick, or B, pay attention to what was been going on during the beef between Kendrick and Drake, versus people who aren't that tacked with what's going on with Kendrick and Drake, or just not too fond of rap music at all. Which, you don't have to like Kendrick or rap music. All I was trying to say here is like, these takes are just very questionable, and that is all. And also, this definition, if you guys still think I'm making this video just because I disagree with what they're saying. And that's all for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. And yeah, this is Foso Doing Poyo, and I'm out here. Peace.